This last section is about some of the exercises and ideas that you might want to use in order to embed employability. Clearly these are starter exercises, these are really designed to give you ideas and thoughts about where you might want to develop employability in certain parts of the course. These also may give you ideas to embed certain employability skills that you may not have thought of before. And the list of skills needed at each of the levels within a student's academic career are here in these pages. I would strongly encourage you to have a look at those skills at each of the levels, because it can help you almost act as a checklist to make sure that you've embedded as many of those as you possibly can. You'll see very clearly that on that list, some of the skills are labelled E and some are labelled CC. Some of these skills that we feel are needed at each of the levels, we think that they're best to be embedded rather than left co-curricular. But we also made a decision that actually some of the skills that we think that students could really develop and need should perhaps remain co-curricular, and some of those things are around CV building, application forms, assessment centres, because the Careers and Employability Service offers those skills and those courses to develop those skills throughout the year. So embedding employability can be as much as also pinpointing a need of a student and actually referring them to the Careers and Employability Service, or highlighting or signposting courses that they can do with us to develop those specific skills. Whereas other employability skills are better embedded within the curriculum and within the course itself. Actually, the course can lend itself very naturally to that. So you'll find both within these pages, both exercises and also the careers and employability agenda and schedule for the whole academic year going forward, so that you can highlight some of the things that students should be really looking to attend. We worked on a very interesting case study with the law school, where a lecturer was asking our advice on how to embed employability further in a particular module, actually, within a course. And that was surrounding land law. She had already embedded employability really well throughout that programme of study, but actually wanted to come to us to see if there was anything that we could add further. And when we started talking about teamwork, for example, she very quickly said, well, actually, when the students work together as a team, there can often be squabbles. One student feels they're doing more than the rest, and the team doesn't always gel together as well. And it was only through talking about this that we realised that students aren't really taught what teamwork is and how teamwork can work effectively. And I think a very short exercise that can be done around exploring what a team is and the different personalities and the different traits and the different strengths within a team and how they're all needed in order to make a team work effectively can be a really good way of kicking off something around teamwork. And you tend to find that students work better together as a team because they understand the concept behind it. The other element is feedback, and I think when we were going through the embedding that had already happened within this module, and we talked about feedback, what was clear is that presentation skills were embedded very, very well, but when students were asked to give feedback on their peers, this went less well, and a lot of students would give very, very little feedback to each group going up to do a presentation, and in fact would often say, that was really good, and now it's our turn. And actually that isn't a good way of giving and receiving feedback. But again, it was only through talking about it that we realised students weren't really taught how to give and receive feedback. This has risen very highly on the employer's agenda. They really want students who are able to give and receive feedback because they are looking for potential leaders and managers in their organisation. Most of the graduate schemes are there to prepare students for going through the business and working up through all of the positions and shaping them and moulding them to be leaders. And one of the first things they look for is the ability to give and receive feedback, because this is what they're going to need to do in order to become effective leaders to start with as the basis, as the foundation. So it's really important for those two things, both teamwork, giving and receiving feedback, for students to have experience doing both of these things, but also understand the need behind it. So I hope the exercises are useful. Of course, the Careers and Employability team are here. If you run out of ideas or you need more, or actually you just want to review what you've already done, we're more than happy to help.